right, gather around, everyone, gather around. Let's speak to the people of this city, shall we?
Yes. Speak to Governor Cuomo. He can stop this.
That's the message. We need action today, and that's why we're here. Hold on, we're going to let this guy get his camera ready. Skip's here. Is Estella here? Estella Vasquez here?
Estella Vasquez. Estella Vasquez. Right here. Right here.
There she is. I'm sorry, Estella. I couldn't see you through the crowd. A little height difference.
Yeah, that's what happened when we were down in Capital.
A little height difference. All right. We're going to start. Now, is Maribel speaking?
Yes.
Okay, and she's here?
Maribel? Where's Maribel?
Okay.
Maribel?
Camera's ready. Good, okay. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Are we ready to save this hospital? Yes! Are we ready to save Interfaith Hospital? Yes! All right. Let me tell you something. 3 years ago, as public advocate, I was working with so many people in the community, so many people in the unions, to save St. Vincent's Hospital. St. Vincent's Hospital, a pillar of healthcare in this city for over 150 years. I can tell you, I saw it with my own eyes. It could have been saved, it should have been saved, but those who were in a position to save it took their hands off. The then governor stood back. The then mayor was perfectly comfortable with the hospital closing. We could have saved St. Vincent's, and we lost it. The community suffered. The people who worked there suffered. Healthcare in New York City got worse. It got slower. It got harder for people to get. This is a country that for years has been debating and focusing on how to finally get healthcare for all, and yet in New York City a few years ago, we took a step away from healthcare for all. We let one of our crown jewels close because our leaders didn't stand up. By the way, guess who won in the equation? Guess who won? The real estate industry.
That's not right.
Guess who ran all the way to the bank? The real estate industry. And here we are again in Brownstone, Brooklyn, with these valuable properties on the line. Now, when the profit motive takes over, we lose hospitals, we lose health care, we lose jobs, and we're not going to stand for it anymore, are we? No! We've lost not just St. Vincent's, we lost Peninsula Hospital in the Rockaways not long ago. We lost others throughout the city. This has been a time in our history where we've been going backwards. It shouldn't be happening. It doesn't have to happen. And we're going to draw a line in the sand today. We are not going to lose Long Island College Hospital. We're not going to let it happen.
No!
We're not going to lose Interfaith. We're not going to let it happen.
No!
We are not going to let the real estate industry call the tune. The people are going to call the tune here.
Yes!
The people demand health care.
Yes!
The people demand the jobs that these hospitals bring to our community. Right now, there's a bottom line, but it's the wrong bottom line. It's the profit for the few that's winning out over the needs of the many. We are not going to let that happen in our communities. Now, everybody has a role in this fight. Residents are standing up, unions are standing up, community organizations are standing up. We're going to do everything we know how to do to make our voices heard. We have no illusions about support for the real estate industry. We have no illusions about concern from Mayor Bloomberg. He's taking his hands off, he's keeping his hands off. But we can and we must get help from Governor Cuomo. It's time. No one is more important in this equation than our governor. He appoints the Board of Trustees of the State University of New York that now controls LICH's fate, and his Department of Health must approve any plans for closures or any change at all. So we need our governor to get involved. Our message to Governor Cuomo today is don't let this happen on your watch. Don't let us lose more hospitals. You can be the difference maker. You can be the person who saves LICH and saves Interfaith, and it's time to do it now. 3 things we need. We need the governor to insist that the SUNY board release all information publicly on all interests in this. Why are we in the dark, brothers and sisters? Why don't we know what's going to happen to our own hospital? People who work here, people who live here, this is life and death to us. Why don't we even know who's expressed interest in keeping this hospital alive? SUNY has every interest to keep it quiet. SUNY wants to sell off this property for its own purposes. Again, the profit motive. But we deserve transparency. We deserve to know who might be here to help us save this hospital. And the governor has to intervene and tell SUNY they have no choice in the matter. They must give us that information.
That's right. Yeah.
We need the governor to insist that the SUNY board and the Department of Health reject any plan that would result in the closure of LICH. We need them to stand in the way of any plan that would attempt to sell off of these properties and the closure of LICH. And we need the governor to insist that the state of New York support the merger of Interfaith and Brooklyn Hospital and provide the assistance to make it happen. It is not too late to save hospitals in this city. It will take strong leadership. That's what we demand, because we're going to suffer if we don't get that leadership. And we know it. It is time to save LICH, to save Interfaith, to save healthcare in Brooklyn. Thank you. Now, I'm going to call up some of our key allies. I want to first say for our friends in the media, this is the letter that I've sent today to the governor, delineating what we need, the kind of leadership we need from him to make a difference here. I've known the governor a long time. I have faith in his leadership. I believe now that the legislative session is over, that he can step in and make these changes. We need him to do it. And just for our friends in the Spanish media, 2 sentences en español. No podemos permitir que estos hospitales cierren. El gobernador debe actuar.
Así es. Así es.
Now, we have some leaders from this fight who are going to speak to us about what we need to do. And one that I want to say I particularly appreciate, because I've known her now for almost 20 years, one of the great leaders of 1199, the strong and powerful union that is here to help us win this struggle. I introduce to you Estela Vasquez.
Buenas tardes, familia. Good afternoon. Do we need more luxury housing in Brooklyn? No. Do we need more luxury housing in Brooklyn? No. Do we need more luxury housing in Brooklyn? No. We have to repeat this message over and over again. Brooklyn residents need quality health care, not luxury condominiums.
Yes. Yeah.
Recently, the New York City Board of Health released a study that says that every 90 minutes, a New Yorker dies of diabetes-related illness. Right here, not far from here, maybe a mile, a Red Hook is one of the most underserved communities not receiving adequate health care. Do you think that's right?
No.
Do you think we're gonna sit idly and do nothing?
No.
SUNY Downstate sacrifices our jobs, our health, our community, our hospital to the altar of greed and capitalism on Wall Street. Is that right?
No.
We have to unite. We're gonna have to let the governor know, and the powers that be in the city of New York and in the state and in the country, that we are not gonna be silent. Tomorrow at 4 o'clock, we will be at the offices of Governor Cuomo in Manhattan. Are you going to be with us there?
Yes!
On Wednesday, we're going to the Chancellor's office of State University of New York. Are you going to be with us there?
Yes!
We have to deliver a message. Keep all healthcare in Brooklyn open. No more closings. No more closings. No more closings. No more closings. Thank you very much.
Estela. I want to ask everyone who is part of this community, and I've had the honor of being in Brownstone, Brooklyn the last 20 years of my life. I want to ask everyone part of this community to recognize that some of the nurses are coming out on their break to be with us. Let's give a round of applause to these incredible and now represent maintenance workers too. Say again?
Security too.
Security. Radiology. I want to say, brothers and sisters, we have a majority. Okay? I just counted. Every part is with us. The community is with us. Now, representing NYSNA, and I want to tell you their efforts have been extraordinary. We appreciate it deeply. Maribel Agosto.
My name is Maribel Augusto. I'm a registered nurse at LICH and a proud member of NYSNA. We need to keep our hospitals open. LICH and Interfaith Hospital must remain open for care. This is an urgent matter, as the community has to keep pressure on to keep LICH and Interfaith open for care. It's been reported this week that a neighbor of this community came into the ER. It was deemed by his doctor that he required a hospital admission. Of course, he was told that he would have to be transferred to another hospital, all right, someplace else. This guy was a smart guy. He refused transfer, saying that his doctor and his records are here at LICH, in his hospital, and that LICH is here, it's open, and that there's no closed sign on that door. He insisted on being admitted to the hospital, and guess what? He was the first admission since June 19, 2013. I don't believe, and many of us don't believe, that SUNY is above the law. As a matter of fact, they have said publicly they want to exit LICH many times. They continue to ban 911 emergency response to LICH. And we now have an empty lobby at LICH. As was reported earlier by the doctors, the nurses, and the staff, we are ready and have been ready to service and care for our patients.
That's right.
There was never a mass exodus. I come to work as well as my fellow nurses, the doctors, and my fellow staff members. We come here every day. In spite of the New York State Supreme Court order, which was issued by Justice Johnny Lee Baines on June 19, 2013, in contempt of court, SUNY is still holding a ban on 911 to LICH. Now, I'm asking everyone, as was mentioned by 1199, tomorrow is a rally. Our right to assemble and free speech. The buses leave Brooklyn at 2:45 in front of LICH, and we're urging everyone that is available, please join us. We're going to go to Governor Cuomo's office in Manhattan and tell him to keep our hospitals open for care. At what time? 2:45 p.m.
Thank you. Now, I want to ask for the reverse. A few minutes ago, we saluted the nurses, the security workers, the maintenance workers, the radiologists, all the people who work here and do such a great job. Now I want everyone who works here to appreciate the community activists, the civic organizations that have risen to the defense of LICH. Give them a round of applause. And one that has been in so many struggles in this city, a voice for the people, is New York Communities for Change. I want to call up Skip Roseborough, one of the great leaders of that organization. Thank you.
Thank you. It is always a pleasure to try to move things forward, and particularly to speak for Bill de Blasio. I've known Bill for some years. He is someone who has spent a lifetime in public service.
He got my vote.
All right, great. Yeah, definitely. He has spoke about needing leaders to help us get out of this situation. He spoke to the fact that this is not just about LICH and other hospitals, but this is about the hospital system. And that's showing leadership. Our current mayor feels that your health care is about your smoking habits and how much soda you drink. Okay? Now, if he's concerned about our health care, why is he concerned about a hospital that will take care of our heart, that will take care of our unborn child, and the hundreds of other things that our hospitals provide us? All right? Why isn't he here today? Why hasn't he spoken out? Why isn't the governor here? Why isn't his representative? Why aren't the other candidates here speaking out? The only one here is Bill de Blasio. Bill de Blasio has spent a lifetime working in your service. It's because he understands what's needed. He's the one that's already talking about a plan. And I think that plan will probably be filled out where hopefully we will save all our hospitals. But what we need to understand is we do need that leadership. We need to have somebody that's proven, somebody who has a track record, someone who's not afraid to go against those who don't want this to happen, to go against the real estate people, against the mayor, against the governor, and all these other individuals who have no interest in you keeping your hospitals open. In the last 11 years, since our mayor has been mayor, we have lost 15 hospitals. 15 hospitals. How is that him showing concern for our health care? All right?
How many people died?
So, if I get a bigger drink, that's a problem for him. If I choose to smoke, that's a problem for him. But under his watch, we've lost 15 hospitals. There's something wrong with that, right? There's something wrong with that. So, Bill has spoke to the fact that the closing of this emergency room has put a dire pressure on other hospitals. The waiting in other hospitals is by additional hours. And that's the difference of life and death for many people. So we cannot afford to let this continue. We need to get good leadership in there. We need to save our hospital system, not just the individual hospitals, so that the whole city's taken care of, and so hospitals are not overburdened by each and every clothing. All right, we already lost 15. We cannot afford to lose one more.
On another hospital.
So you want things to change?
One more.
This is the face of change. This is the man that's already making a difference, has made a difference, and will make a difference in the future. So I give you Bill de Blasio.
First, I want us to say together what I just heard here. Not one more.
Not one more. Not one more. Not one more. Not one more.
Say it.
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 Not one more. Not one more.
Brothers and sisters, we'll sum it up. This hospital is on death's door. You see how SUNY is going out of its way to try to destroy this hospital. We have days, maybe weeks to save it. That's how urgent it is. That's why we need leadership. The mayor, I would call him Mayor Hands-Off Bloomberg. He has made abundantly clear. He is not showing up. He's not intervening. He's not listening. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. But we could lose this hospital. We could lose this hospital. We could lose Interfaith this summer. Not sometime in the distant future, this summer. And we need to save them this summer. And we need our governor to step in and save the day now. We welcome your questions. Any questions?
Does anyone know what the next legal step is on LICH?
Does anyone know the next legal step on LICH? All right, we'll get you that.
Yeah, we'll get that. We'll get you that.
We'll get you that in right in a moment. Yes.
Yeah. Where's Mickey?
Any other media? Just checking media questions first. Any media questions?
Do you think that the governor has not done enough so far? What do you think of how he's handled the situation so far?
I think he's been focused on the budget and the legislative session, and I understand that. I think the governor has a good track record on health care. But now we need his focus here. SUNY Downstate has shown its willingness to let this hospital close. They have not been good actors in this drama. They have not been honest brokers. And we need the governor to correct for that. And Interfaith is hanging in the balance too. So it's time for his leadership. Any other questions from media? All right, thank you everyone. Thank you. People are losing their jobs. It's unacceptable. It's making the city less safe, less healthy. It's time to fight it. I know the mayor will not intervene to save LICH or to save Interfaith, but the governor could. We're calling on Governor Cuomo to get involved, to use the powers of state government, and make sure that LICH and Interfaith stay open. The only chance we have is leadership from the governor. And we're out here today, nurses and maintenance workers and community residents, demanding that the governor get involved so we can save these hospitals.